You know, there's an interesting trend happening at the moment in outsourcing. I mean, business process outsourcing, back office outsourcing. Here we are in November 2020. It's December tomorrow, and the trend has been increasing. I wonder why. Let's talk about that this week. So here we are, 30th of November 2020. We've had, 8 months of COVID and lockdowns and people working from home. And there's a very interesting trend I've noticed in outsourcing. So for those of you who are not aware, I run a number of different businesses. My main focus is management consulting. And then this channel is all about another business that I have based in the Philippines, which provides outsourcing services, so virtual assistants to small business and entrepreneurs. And I've noticed a very interesting trend. The demand for our services has increased over the last few months. And why is that? It's really interesting. So let me just share some thoughts on why I think that is. First of all, I mean, the trend for outsourcing has been with us for a very long time, particularly amongst big corporates. They've been outsourcing IT, procurement, finance, HR. I mean, it's hard to think of a business these days that doesn't have its IT outsourced to the Philippines or India, call center services, those sorts of things. Some people quote as much as 60 or 70% of large businesses have outsourced aspects such as IT. So it's always been there. What's changed though in 2020? I'll tell you what I think has changed. Everybody's been working at home for months, or a large number of people, vast majority probably of people that I know. And what has changed is that people have found, employers have found, it works. I think they had this fear of, if we let the workforce all work from home, they'll be spending their time playing with their kids, watching movies, going for walks, they won't get the work done. And I think what the last few months has proved is that that is not the case. If you trust your workforce and they trust you, they get on with the job. And all the businesses that I deal with in my consulting business, none of them have had any issues at all with people working from home. So what's happened? People have got used to it. They've got used to having the bulk of their workforce working at home remotely. So I ask you this, what's the difference between having staff working at home remotely or working overseas remotely? Not a great deal, I would hesitate to say. Now, it's interesting that the savvy small business owners and entrepreneurs have known this for decades, and most of the entrepreneurs that I know have back office operations overseas, typically in the Philippines, because that's a great place in terms of culture and language and work ethic, but other places too, like India and Europe and so on. They know that it works really well, and it's a great way to access really talented people, very often at a fraction of the cost in your own market. So they've been doing it for ages. But the trend now that I've noticed over the last few months is more and more people are jumping onto that bandwagon. And why is it? I think because it's this level of comfort. They realise, small business owners now realise they've been working from home, they've got teams working from home, and it works fine. All of those fears that they had about people working remotely have dissipated because they can see how effective it can be. And in fact, I think productivity has increased for a lot of businesses because people have been working at home. Now, it's curious. I mean, I mentioned that in our outsourcing business, Virtual Done Well, demand has actually picked up. And I've been curious to see what sort of services people are asking for, because we provide very much sort of tailored virtual assistants to businesses. So it's not, banks and banks of people doing telemarketing and things like that. It's very much sort of tailored and bespoke support. So what sort of things have have people been asking for? Generally, it's been about sort of admin and general office support. All kinds of things, like diary management and managing social media, all of those nitty-gritty little things. Like if you've been on this channel for a while, you'll know I keep saying it. Don't do those small non-value adding tasks. You've got to be focused on the big stuff like looking after customers and sales and things like that. And I think a lot of people have now realized not only can I have remote people working for me and it be really effective, but I can delegate a lot of that day-to-day stuff. So a lot of the demand for our people has been that sort of general office support. And where we've had clients who've had 3 or 4 virtual assistants, they're now hiring more, which is great. So these are businesses who are actually now growing and advancing sort of through this difficult COVID period, which is great to see. Some of the other services I've noticed have been web-based as well, so web developers and particularly online marketing. You know, managing the whole sort of marketing automation has become a lot more important for people. And again, they've realised that they can have remote staff doing this. So I just thought I'd share those thoughts because, you know, if you'd asked me 8 months ago at the beginning of this pandemic, you know, how will it be for small business? How will it be for a business like ours that provides outsourced support? I have to say I was a little bit nervous because it was all up in the air and you know, we really didn't know what was going to happen. But it's been fascinating to see the journey over the last few months and how the demand for those overseas virtual assistants has actually picked up and some of the things that people are utilising those staff for. So just thought I'd share that with you. It's just an interesting element, I think, of this whole challenging period that we've been working through as small business owners and entrepreneurs. If that service interests you, as always, have a look down in the description below. You'll find links there to Virtual Done Well and all the sorts of services we provide, because maybe you're one of those small business owners, entrepreneurs who hasn't yet cottoned on to the fact that having virtual assistants supporting your business is a little bit, well, I was going to say secret sauce, but it's not so secret because people have been doing it for decades. So I hope your business is going okay during these difficult periods and that you're growing, in fact, during these difficult periods, and wish you every success with your business. Do feel free to comment down below, ask any questions. We have all sorts of topics on this channel about marketing and sales and online marketing and, of course, utilising virtual assistants. So anything that really a small business owner or entrepreneur might need insights on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. And of course, videos come out on a Tuesday evening, so don't forget and maybe subscribe. Hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every time we have a new video coming out. Thanks for joining us.